Almost done The Legend of Zelda. Hard to believe that this journey I started back in 2018 is finally at an almost end. I only have two more Zelda games to go, Breath of the Wild and whatever its sequel is going to be called. At the time of this video, we do not have a title for it. But, well, we might as well get this game out of the way. This one will be a little lighter than the typical Zelda video. My shortest one so far is the Four Swords video, largely because I was limited on how much I got to do with it. The Four Swords Adventures I also had to play by myself, because I don't think I still have the GameCube Game Boy Advance connection cable anymore, but what can you do about that? The approach this time was to do Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures again, but this time we have internet functionality, which Nintendo rather stubbornly refused to do during the GameCube days. The team's desire to focus on collecting gear, thus fashion, led to the game's story taking place in a kingdom that styles fashion. They thought about doing voice chat, but figured that could be distractive. What they came up with, though, we'll get into in a second. It was a joint production between Nintendo and Grezzo. Grezzo made the levels, designed the enemies, and dealing with the user interface, while Nintendo programmed the main game systems and laid out the level concepts. Our story this time takes place in Hytopia. Cute. Very cute. This fashion-obsessed land loved its Princess Styla. God, that's painful. But one day, the Draplins wish who couldn't bear her cute fashion sense, so she sent the princess a gift that has cursed her to be stuck in a form-fitting bodysuit that she can't take off. Terrible. Truly terrible. King Tuft sends out a call for chosen heroes to enter the Drablands and break the curse. Enter Link, who is the same Link from A Link Between Worlds, even though there's nothing in the game that makes that clear, but Nintendo said so. The story is pretty lame, but that's pretty much the intention. In fact, Zelda doesn't appear at all, aside from a visual nod where you can wear her dress. In fact, if it wasn't for Nintendo saying that this took place in the timeline, you'd be fine to say this was an alternate timeline, but it takes place after A Link Between Worlds because, well, why not? Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with a more lighthearted story. Maybe that's what Zelda needed. None of the usual serious villains are here. Our villain is a witch who just cursed a princess for wearing a pretty dress. Okay then. But still, I guess no job is too small for Link, so he's gonna help anyone. Now, as to why Link looks like Toon Link in this game when Link Between Worlds had a different art style, that's simply because of the changes in art style. This game is primarily meant to be played online, so I went on to various message boards or Reddit trying to find some people to help play through the game. I even got someone, but as I waited for him, I found that because he was in a different region, that meant we couldn't play together. Yeah, this game is region locked for whatever reason. I don't know whose idea that was, but it's pretty stupid to make a game based around online connectivity region locked. The game is nearly 7 years old, so the online is pretty dead by today. I didn't think anyone still played this, but fortunately I was directed to a direct that's specifically dedicated to finding players to play this game with, so I'll give you guys a shout out. The Triforce Heroes Discord. You guys were very helpful, and I don't know what I would have done without you. Now granted, you can play the game in single player, but if you do that, it doesn't work like it did in Four Swords Adventures where you control all the links at the same time. You have to use the touchscreen switch between them, which can get very tedious. It's obvious this was meant to discourage you from doing single player, but I find that questionable since not everyone has a good internet connection. Many times while I was playing solo, the amount of times I had to switch back between links was so I could continue to the next level was incredibly high, and repetition sets in pretty quickly. But if you want to 100% complete this game, you have to do every level in single player and multiplayer, but some of these levels I can't imagine doing by yourself, so don't play this game in single player if you can help it. It's not meant to be experienced that way. So typically when you and your friends enter a level, you can do them in any order you want. Every link has to grab an item, which item is up to you. Yes, I did notice that the fireball glove sounds just like the Mario fireballs, thank you very much. You can't buy a shield for whatever reason, and every link shares the same life bar, meaning that if you take one too many hits, you all die. Fortunately, you have 3 fairies, which will restart the level for you. Typically, the first level is designed to get you the item and whatever mechanics you have to use for the level ahead. The second is a mini-boss level, the third is where you put your wits to the test, and the fourth is the boss battle. Just like in A Link Between Worlds, there's an energy gauge meant for items. The 3 links must cooperate with each other if they want to complete the level. This is usually accomplished by working together to solve puzzles. With no voice chat, it can get pretty confusing to what you're supposed to do, but it's pretty rewarding when you do it right. And I must admit I do find this to be very clever. Most of the game is built around the totem mechanic, in which all 3 links can create a totem that can be used to find out for each goodies. The game has no voice chat, but to get around this, on the lower screen it's filled with icons that you can use to communicate with the other players. It works well enough. That doesn't mean I didn't run into some problematic players. This person here wasn't very happy when we didn't listen to her about getting some item. So she intentionally sabotaged us by throwing down the chasms to get a game over. Thanks a lot, lady. I did enjoy the set pieces of some of the boss battles, particularly this minecart battle, or the lady's pets, which was particularly hard, but the key is teamwork again. The game is built around cooperation, so if you don't cooperate, well, you're not going to win. So better get that me, myself, and I mindset out of you right away. When you're not out there fighting for your life, you can spend time in Hytopia, gathering materials, or if you're lucky, getting a glimpse of the princess. Can't you just, cut the thing off? Sure, you won't have any clothes, but at least it'll be off. Maybe she tried that. Of course, you can buy various clothes. I'm not going to show them all off, but they each have their own perks, and it's up to you to decide how you want to use them. With the game's focus on online interactivity, that caused me to wonder what will become of it when the 3DS Online service is inevitably discontinued. After all, the 3DS is no longer being made. And it's probably only a matter of time before Nintendo discontinues service for both the 3DS and the Wii U. A little update. As I was recording this, Nintendo announced they were going to be quitting eShop support for the Wii U and 3DS. Not sure what that means for online play, but we're getting there. Certain challenges and 100% completion will be made unattainable. Nintendo needs to start some kind of backup system. Put some of your 3DS games on Switch somehow. Maybe through the eShop for $30, I don't know. But this is part of the problem when games inevitably go all online. This is the future you will face. I did take the time to do the demo trials with a few people, and let me tell you, despite all the trial and error, you have to fight 3 Darklings because I just had to see you again, didn't I? But the reward is well worth it with the Fierce Deity costume. This is a costume you show off after you get it. The Coliseum is also meant for just having fun with your friends, which involves trying to kill each other while avoiding a floor master that can instantly kill you. Go figure. Lady Maud is all about using the totem mechanic to get on top and slash at her. The second phase involves around her sending energy balls that each Link must throw back, because I swear nobody learns from this mistake. From there, it revolves around getting the right Link on the right parasol and striking her down. Well, for the first female main villain in Zelda, not counting Sia, you're a little lacking. But then none of this was meant to be taken seriously. Happy ending at last. So that's Zelda Triforce Heroes. Overall, it's very okay. It's not a game that's meant to be played by yourself. You need to play with other people, and we can debate about the longevity of those games all day. I wonder about its future. It's something to think about. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that bell, like, and subscribe button. If you want updates, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, or if you want to support what I do, check out my Patreon, which are provided in the descriptions below. See you next time.